Alright team, welcome back to part 2 of our special edition Halloween and fall stitching video. It is hours later from the first video, if you just watched. Went and had some lunch, sat and did some stitching for a while, went and did some sewing on my quilt, and had a little snack, and now I'm back, hoping to knock this one out. I'm guessing like an hour-ish, and then go get dinner. So this part of the video is going to feature projects that I have pulled fabric and or floss for, basically things I want to start that I'm ready to start. They're kitted up, and then just plain old stash flash. Obviously, I tried to kit up the things that were most appealing to me, but I certainly in my stash have some patterns that I really, really love, but maybe just didn't quite have the fabric that I needed or whatnot. So it doesn't mean that I love them less than the ones I've kitted up. It just means that, you know, the time maybe just wasn't right to kit that up just yet. So let's get started with what we've got. So this first one is, and this is in the kitted up projects that we're talking about right now. This was this year's Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. So not the October issue, but the Halloween special edition. This is a Panochka design. I've actually seen several people stitch this. I'm going to try to fold this so that I don't show you the actual pattern. Several people have stitched this. It looks like it would be a very quick stitch. I really do love this pattern. I love the colors. I love the motifs. I love it. It calls for like 3 colors of DMC, and I am going to stitch it with the called for colors, and I'm going to stitch it on this mystery linen, which I believe I have another little piece of this. I got this at my thrift store, my craft thrift store. The other piece it's a Zweigart, but in the, what do you call that? Like the edge of the fabric, it's actually stamped. It's stamped birds of a feather. So, but it doesn't say the color. So I'm assuming this is some kind of birds of a feather linen. I think it's 30. I think it's supposed to be, it says birds of a feather 32 count, but when you actually really, it looks more like a 36 count, but I'm guessing that's just because, you know, something shrunk in the dyeing process. It is a 32 count. Allegedly, it just doesn't actually measure out to that, which, whatever. I actually kitted up several things from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween. So this one is, I believe, from last year's. Let me double check if it says anywhere on here. Ooh, it doesn't, because I rip out the pages and then like put them in these little, what do you call these? Plastic sheet holders? Sheet protectors. There we go. So I buy the magazine, I rip out what I think I'll stitch, and then I throw the rest of the magazine away. And this one was actually a digital issue. So it was a Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue, but I honestly don't know for sure what year it was. It's called Potions, Brews, and Spells. It's by Cherished Stitches, and I just fell in love with that as soon as I saw it. So what I want to do is get some DMC Etoile, which I need to go get today. I want to get like a limey green, and I'm going to do it on this Picture This Plus Huntress fabric, which I've had this piece of fabric for a long time. It's a 32 count. It's beautiful. I love it. I just couldn't like ever figure out what I wanted to stitch on it. And so I've decided I'm going to stitch this on it. Ooh, sorry for the glare. But with a, like I said, with like a lime green sparkle. And I don't know exactly the DMC green that it is, but I know that when I was at Michael's the other day looking at the Etoile, there was a green that will work. I don't know exactly what number it was, but there's something, it'll work. This is another just cross stitch Halloween. This one is Halloween 2016. It's by Stitchy Fish Designs. And it's a skeleton key. The actual stitched part is just this right here. So this will stitch up really fast. These are actual keys that she stitched onto the pillow. So I think that'll be a nice quick like stitch. There's not actually much stitching to it. And I also want to do this one with a DMC Etoile. I think I told you guys in my last video I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. This is an XJU Design Fabric of the Month fabric. It's a 36 count. It's from last year. It's Hot Cocoa. It's just a really pretty brown. And I want to do, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is like a 3371, like a really dark brown black DMC Etoile on this. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think it'll look good. So that's 2 projects in a row that I'm going to stitch with DMC Etoile. And we're not done. There's another one I'm going to stitch with DMC Etoile. So I'll just go ahead and show you now. This is Primitive Hair just released. I think she released 2 new patterns on the same day. But anyway, she just had a new release. I went and bought this immediately. It's called Witch's Shadows. And it's 4 little stitches. And the linen is something she dyed herself, and it's very pretty. But I was inspired. I dyed this linen myself, and I was inspired to use this linen instead of going like the brownish route, although I do think this looks incredible. So I'm going to use this purple splotchy linen I dyed. That's showing up really true, like really true. But I'm going to use DMC Etoile. I'm going to use the 310, the black, and then the Blanc, the white one. So, and I think I'm going to start that very soon. I would have started it already if I had any of the 310 here at my house, and I don't, so I need to go get it. Okay, so let me just look through here real quick and make sure. I think that's all. I think that's all I'm going to stitch with the DMC Etoile. That's three projects I'm going to stitch. Okay, so next I got, I've wanted this pattern forever, and I finally just bit the bullet and got it. It's not Forgotten Farm, Witch's Garden Sampler. This is an actual I think you can maybe get this as a PDF. No, not this one. She has, on her Etsy shop, you can, some of her patterns you get as PDFs. I don't think you can this one, but this is a terrible picture of it. It's like washed out and you can't see anything. On her Etsy listing, she actually has like a good picture of this sampler. It's a really cool sampler. It's got like, it's called Witch's Garden Sampler, and it's like witchy herbs like henbane and feverfew and mugwort and all sorts of fun mandrake, stuff like that. And it's in DMC, and I talked about how I'm always tempted to convert DMC to Fancy Floss. And I thought about it, but then I went and looked for pictures of other people's finishes on this, and it looked like they just did it in DMC, and it still looked amazing. So I was like, you know, just like make it easy on yourself. Just do this in DMC. I'm going to do it on a 40 count Picture This Plus Ren, which is just a really pretty, really simple neutral, and it'll work just perfectly on that. And I've kind of been hoarding that for like the right thing. So I'm finally gonna use it. And then I've got another primitive hair because, as I said in the last video, she is one of my absolute favorite, I was looking for my drink, one of my absolute favorite Halloween designers. The other being Primitive Needle. I also love Barbara Anna. I love Kathy Barrick. I love Pineberry Lane. I mean, I don't discriminate. I love all sorts of designers, but I especially love those above mentioned for Halloween designs. This is Early Witches by the Primitive Hair. And the nice thing about the Primitive Hair is that she also charts most of her stuff in DMC, and it still has that prim look, even though the flosses aren't as variegated as you would expect. That is all DMC, and it still looks amazing. I am going to use this piece of linen that I found. I had a haul. I found a haul at the thrift store. And I found a few like GGR reproduction samplers, like just some red work samplers. And one of them had this linen in it. And so I think it's a hand dyed. It's a 28 count. So it's really big. It's way bigger than I'm used to stitching on because I do like to stitch on a smaller count. And if I'm going to do a big count, I'd rather do 32. But this was, it's hand dyed. I think it's actually got, and they put masking tape, and I think like the coffee grounds are actually in the masking tape. So it's like nice and crusty. The color is just so perfect for this pattern that I'm gonna suck it up and do the 28 count. But because it's DMC, because that's the other thing I don't like about 28 count is it blows through floss. Like, holy crap. Now that I stitch primarily on 40 count, when I stitch on a 32 or 28, I'm like, I'm using so much of my floss. I don't like it. But being DMC, I don't mind eating up floss on a 28 count. I think, again, the color is just perfect for this. But it's going to end up being kind of big because I'm doing it on 28 count. But I do love that pattern. So this is a pattern that Megan, Wide-Eyed Stitching Child, enabled me. She just finished this. It's Kathy Barrick Halloween Birthday. I bought this from Teresa Kitten Stitcher. And then I found out Kathy Barrick has this on her Etsy shop as a PDF download. So I could have had it like instantly. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. I supported Kitten Stitcher. It calls for NPI or NPI, needlepoint silk, not NPI, right? That's a different. Yeah, needlepoint silk, which is the San Francisco dyers. And it calls for a ton of colors, and there's just no way. So I'll be doing the DMC conversion. And this is going to be on a 32 count. So again, I'm glad it's DMC. And I don't know if you can certainly tell this is full coverage. The only part of the fabric that's going to show is right here on the corners. The center is all full coverage. But she's not too big. She's 106 wide by 82 high. So I'm doing her on this Nikki's Creation Old England fabric, which is super, super like intense. It's when she dyes this fabric, it all turns out a little different. Some will be really quite light. This one got really like heavily dyed. I actually sometimes, it was a huge piece, so I've cut off and stitched on it. And sometimes I actually turn it over because this side is more subtle. Actually, this side's really pretty. It's like a primitive hair. Old Massachusetts kind of linen. It's just a nice subtle. And then this side's like, ba-pow! So either way, it's almost full coverage. So you're only going to see a little bit. And I need to just use this linen. So I decided I'll use it for that. Next up, I bought this pattern last year and didn't get around to it. I don't know if I'll get around to it this year. I hope I do. This is another Panochka, which is an Etsy shop. She also designed that first pattern I showed from the Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine from this year. This one is called Autumn Tea Party. And it actually, oh, that's a lot of glare. Sorry, I'll take it out. Usually I can angle it so that the glare isn't too bad. It doesn't, I don't think it's too much stitching. So I need to just do it. Just knock it out. I'm going to do that with DMC, which I think it calls for DMC. Yeah, it does. And I hand dyed, I tea and coffee dyed this piece of 32 count. It was like a dusty blue. I don't know which side I'm going to use yet, but it's like kind of crusty. So I'm just going to do it on that with the DMC. This was a more recent purchase. The second I saw this, I had to have it. It's Kori Badakori Halloween and Cross Stitch. And it says, every witch loves Halloween and cross stitch. And it's deceptive because it's enormous, which I didn't realize when I bought it. I'm sure I would have bought it regardless, but it's 210 by 240, so it's huge. Huge. I'm going to do it with the called for DMC. That's all it calls for is DMC. But you know, maybe I will make some of that DMC a toile because I'm obsessed with it right now. What would I make sparkly though? You know what I think? I think I would do her dress with the sparkly 310. I don't think I would necessarily do the whole thing sparkly. I mean, I could. I'll have to like ruminate on that. I'm going to do this on Nikki's Creations hand-dyed linen, 32 count Old England. So this is what I was saying when I said every piece was different, because this is the one I was just showing you guys. I'll get it back out. These are both Old England. In real life, they're even more distinctly different than what's showing. Oh, here, I'll show you guys the more dramatic side. These are both Old England. So this one got a much lighter, much lighter dye. Also, I bought these in person from her when she came here to Colorado for a retreat in the spring. And I don't know this to be the case, but there's certainly a good chance that these could have been one-offs that she didn't want to sell in her shop because the dye wasn't quite right. So it could be that I didn't ask her. I just bought them. But it could be that these weren't ones that she, wanted to actually sell. So that might be also why there's such a difference there. But I mean, this one is just a nice, subtle, like beigey linen with almost no variegation at all. If any, it's very light. So yeah, I'm going to do that with the DMC. When I pulled this fabric for it, I wasn't like the Etoile, I knew about it, but it wasn't really on my radar. And now I'm like obsessed with it. And now I'm really thinking I'm going to look at that and see if I want to get some of the Etoile for that. Also kitted up Pineberry Lane, Be Ye Thankful. So someone on Instagram posted a finish of this and I had never seen it before. And I ran out and bought it immediately. I don't think this picture does it as much justice as what it looked like in the photo I saw. And it just calls for DMC again. And I was tempted to maybe do a fancy floss, but I think I'll just do DMC. I wonder though, it calls for DMC, but that dress, I don't know if you guys can see, that looks variegated to me. That does not look like DMC. That looks like a Weeks or a Classic Color. Maybe she did stitch it that way and then changed it to DMC. So I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'm doing this on X Jude 36 count hot cocoa, which is actually going to be kind of small. It looks like a pretty big pattern, but it's going to fit on here. So I need to get more X Jude linen. I love her linen. She can do no wrong. It is gorgeous. And I was in the Fabric of the Month Club. I think I only did 3 months, and then I was like, I shouldn't spend money on this, but I do love, I do recommend it. I highly recommend her Fabric of the Month Club. And then I also occasionally will just buy a bunch of linen from her just to have it for my stash, but I've almost gone through it all now, so I need to get some more. I don't know what she does, but her linen feels amazing. It's so soft. It feels awesome. This is Barbara Anna Sisters, and I think I'll do this one in DMC as well. And I got this as a PDF download from Creative Poppy. They have, I believe, like all of Barbara Anna's patterns on there as PDFs, so you can have instant gratification. This is a mystery linen, but if I had to guess, I think it's a Lakeside Vintage Country Mocha, maybe. I think it's a 36 count. So it's a mystery, but I think it'll look really good. That sampler will look really good on that. I also kitted up in the latest issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, which I highly recommend. It's a quarterly magazine, comes out 4 times a year. It is, I've seen it for sale in Barnes & Noble, and some people have seen it in Joann's, but I've never seen it at my Joann's, but I have always been able to find it at Barnes & Noble. But I have a digital subscription, so I just get the PDF. But I highly recommend that magazine. If you love primitive and if you love Halloween, their Halloween issue never disappoints. This year, I think I wanted to stitch, I think, almost every cross stitch in that issue. I can't wait to see their Christmas issue because I also love primitive Christmas stitching. So I think, you know, that's always a really good issue too. But I picked out 2 from this year's issue, but I hope someday to get around to even more from that issue, but these were the 2 like favorites. So the first one is Joyce Reid Folk Art, and it's called Salem, Mass. And it just calls for DMC. I just love that little witch. I decided to go a little crazy with fabric on that one because I've had this piece of 28 count Monaco just kind of hanging around. I dyed this at the same time as I dyed the fabric for my Lizzie Borden piece, but the red didn't come out as prominent on this one. I can't remember what I did differently, but it was just a little more subtle. And I just, you know, couldn't figure out what to do with it. And I think it'll work for this, and most of the red will just get covered up anyway, but if I start stitching it and it looks crazy, then I'll just, you know, reevaluate that. The second pattern I really liked from this fall issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine was another Joyce Reid Folk Art. Apparently, I'm into Joyce Reid Folk Art, and I need to figure out if she's... Oh, she has an Etsy shop. I need to go and see what else she has that I might need. Etsy shop is Joyce Reid Folk Art. If you want to go check her out, I'm going to try to remember to go check her out after this video. This one is called Harvest Blessings, and also just calls for some DMC. Isn't that adorable? I'm going to stitch that on some, it's sort of a mystery linen. It's labeled as Autumn Gathering, but it doesn't say the dyer, so I don't know if it was the shop dyed it themselves and called it Autumn Gathering, or if they just cut a little piece off of something and called it Autumn Gathering. But either way, Are you guys sensing a theme with me and this color of linen? It seems to be all I stitch on when it comes to Halloween. It's certainly what I gravitate towards. Okay, we're almost done with the kitted up stuff. Okay, almost. Well, I lied. Oh, there's more here than I thought. Okay, we're not almost done. It's fine. It's fine. Now, do you see like my dilemma? Because I want to start all of these right now. I want to start all the things. And I can't. Even if I just went hog wild and didn't care about my number of whips, like I physically cannot start 20 things today. So it's very frustrating. I want to start all the things and I can't. And I don't know what I'm going to start next. Maybe you guys can let me know if any of these are like, you know, really like moving you. Let me know and maybe I'll bump it up to the top of the list. This next one was a club kit from Country Sampler in Spring Green, Wisconsin. It was a club kit last year. It's Sunflower Farm by Kathy Barrick. I don't know if maybe someday she'll make this available like outside. You know, it was probably exclusive with them for a year, and then maybe she'll release it. I'm not sure. But I thought it had an autumn feel to it. So it calls for some gentle arts, and it's stitched on Weeks Dye Works beige linen. So again, this was a kit, and it came with the floss and the linen. Betsy, Bird Stitcher, Colorado, and Diana, It Is Kismet, have both stitched this. I don't know if either one has finished it, but they've both at least come really close to where you can get like a really good, they have good pictures on their Instagram of this one. So this one is, it's kitted up because it came as a kit. I don't feel super moved to stitch this one, but I might someday. It's Sue Hillis, Happy Thanksgiving. It's perfectly cute. It's not entirely my style, but it is cute. And I do suspect that in person, it would be even cuter. So it did come as a kit. I found it at my my crafty thrift store. So it came with, what really sold me was it didn't come with Ada, thank God. It came with a nice like 28 count even weave. Actually, I think that's a linen. I don't even think that's an even weave. So it came with a 28 count linen. It came with like, it calls for a ton of DMC. This is the funny thing. Look at this pattern. Look how many DMC it calls for. So it also like, no, they stitched it with anchor, weird, and then gave DMC conversions. So that could be a fun exercise right there. There must have been this one, they sent this one anchor floss, so there must not have been a good DMC equivalent. The rest was DMC in the kit. And then it does call for one Wildflowers by Karen. It's Forest Fire. Sorry, I didn't mean to fling that at you. And I believe when I looked at the chart to try to figure that out, I think it's the leaves on the tree are stitched in that. So, like I said, that one doesn't like call to me. I like it, but it doesn't like ring my bells. But I do have it as a kit, so. This was an Etsy pattern that I downloaded from Cute Patterns by Maria. It's called Books and Coffee, and it's very cute and very autumnal. It's 152 by 138 and it's full coverage. But what I want to do to save myself a little stitching is to not stitch this background, to just stitch books and coffee and then the books and skip all that orange, which I do think is really pretty and has a really pretty effect. But I'm just trying to save myself a little bit of, you know, grief. So I picked a really pretty orangey fabric to stitch it on to get that same effect. This is a hand-dyed bittersweet Jobelin. It's a 28 count. I got this at U Count in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and that's all I know about it. I don't know. I think she has my hair got stuck on that. I think she has a lot of silk weavers, so it might be silk weavers, but it's called bittersweet. It's really pretty. It's like a sherbet. And then DMC, of course. And then I got this cute little, this cute little guy. He's so cute. It's Halloween Owl. I know you can find it on Etsy. I actually got it on My Bobbin, which has a lot of those same Etsy Russian designers. But My Bobbin is sometimes just a smidge cheaper than the Etsy. So this is called Halloween Owl, and he's real little. He's 47 by 68. So just a cute little dude with DMC. I should do that and just get it done. I'm going to stitch it on 20 count silver Lugana in Lily Pad from Under the Sea fabrics. Just because I had this little scrap and he'll fit. And I don't think you're going to pay a lot of attention to the fabric. You're going to be paying attention to that cute little owl. And that pattern was super cheap. I think it was like $2. And then I have another Etsy pattern. I don't know if this one has the designer really easily accessible or labeled. It is not in English at all. We've talked about this and I sound like a broken record, but if you're selling your patterns on Etsy, put your frickin' shop name on your pattern, please. What is this? How do I tell you guys where to go get this pattern? You know, like how do I tell my friends about your shop and how to buy from you if I don't know what your shop is called? So yeah. So it's a cute little boxer in a pumpkin. It's 115 by 140 stitches. It's pretty good size. It's all DMC and blends. And I did, I dyed this linen and it didn't quite turn out how I wanted. But that's okay because this is full coverage, so it's mostly going to cover it all up, and so it'll be fine. This pattern, I think, yeah, this is my last kitted up project. And it's, the reason it's at the back is because it's not actually kitted up. I have the linen, but I don't have the floss because it's a Brenda Gervais, and you guys know how she calls for 900 flosses and all of her patterns. And then you find out that, it's like, sometimes it's for one stitch. Like, there's a couple of Brenda Gervais I bought that called for pumpkin pie, Gentle Arts pumpkin pie. And I knew I owned pumpkin pie. I wanted to take it to stitch something else. And I got really worried. I was like, oh no, what if I don't leave myself enough like to finish this pattern? So I went and looked to see like how many stitches of pumpkin pie are in this pattern. And I found it was called for in 3 different Brenda Gervais patterns. And in one, it was 4 stitches. And in another one, it was, I think, 3 stitches. And in the third, it was 1 stitch. One stitch. You want me to buy Gentle Arts pumpkin pie for 1 stitch? Brenda Gervais, I love you, but what? So let that be a lesson to all of you. If you're new to cross stitching or new to Brenda Gervais, that's something I learned that I would pass on to you. Before you grab one of her patterns and buy every single skein of floss that it calls for, open the pattern and do a little looking and see, like, sometimes it's just like a chicken's leg and it's like 6 stitches, and maybe you could just use DMC. So that was a tangent. We went on a little tangent there, but what I'm getting at is I have not kitted this up with floss yet because I need to really like sit down and take the time to see like what floss I actually need and what I could just use DMC for. And this is Hickety Pickety. So I'm going to do Hickety Pickety on a 36 count weeks in straw. Oh gee, does that color look familiar to you guys? Like I said, there's a little bit of a theme here. So that's half kitted up, and I probably won't get to that this year. Although I do like it a lot. I bought it as soon as it came out. Okay, so that's all my kitted up stuff. So if you guys like desperately want to see me stitch one of those more than the others, like let me know in the comments because maybe I could be persuaded. Okay, now we're on to stash, and then we're out of here. Stash is in no particular order. All right, this is an Etsy pattern. I don't know who it's by because once again, it's not labeled and the designer's name is not in English. This is really starting to bother me, you guys. I'm going to try to go through my Etsy purchases and label all my Etsy patterns with the designer's name and shop so that I can give you this information more easily. But this is just a theme. It's a theme I'm noticing, particularly from the Russian designers, but I've had it from other designers as well. Like, label your stuff. Okay, guys, label your stuff. This is Hermione. And I debated if I should put this in the fall Halloween, but I mean, she's wearing a scarf and she looks cold, so I think it's fall-ish. So I'm gonna run with it. And same with this one. This is Cute Patterns by Maria, and this is Harry Potter. And not only does he have the scarf, but he's got the autumn colored leaves. So definitely autumn. This one was another one that I thought was a little debatable, but this is a freebie from the Little Stitcher, who's an Etsy seller, but she has a blog, thelittlestitcher.blogspot.com, and she has some freebies, just some really cute freebies. And this is the Jane Eyre sampler, and I thought it felt very fall with the bare tree and the crows on that house. I think it has a fall feel. This would stitch up really fast. I need to just do it. This is another Etsy designer, and bless her heart, she put her name on her pattern. Tanya Amity. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. This is Hermione sitting under a big fall tree. Reading books. This next one, I wasn't entirely sure, but this is Blackbird Sunflower Charms, which could be summerish, but I always decorate for fall with sunflowers, so I just decided to me it's fall too. This is an out of print. I think it's pretty hard to find. I don't know if it's like super sought after, but I know that it's not one you can just go buy. It's Loose Feathers pattern number 15. It's released in 2005. And it would actually stitch up really fast. It's really small. I just need to, you know, just do that. This is the Color and Cotton Halloween box last year. This was a pattern that came with the box. It's called Fate, and it says Your Fate Awaits. I don't know if I'll stitch that, but it's cute. This was another Etsy pattern. This one is by Ren Stitch. She did put that there for me. Ren Stitch on Etsy. And it's called Cauldron. And somebody on Reddit posted their finish of this. I had actually saved it, but then someone posted their finish and it was like even prettier than the pattern. So I finally went and bought it. This is Stacy Nash, The Good Witch Pen Keep. The reason I never stitch her is because she calls for like those Gentle Arts colors that are perpetually out of stock, like Garden Gate, Carriage Black, and Black Licorice. Might as well have added Onyx in there just to make it really hard to stitch. So I have a few from Primitive Needle. What do we call it? Primitive Needle and Punch Stitch? Or is it Punch Stitch and Primitive Needle? Punch Stitch. I always get confused. Primitive Needle and Punch Stitch magazine. Whew. Okay. So I actually have a bunch from there. Let me make sure I have them all so I can just like knock them out. They might, you know, some of them are out of order. So this isn't all of them. Oh gosh, here's a whole bunch more. That way I don't have to stop on every single pattern and tell you where it's from. I can just like, you know, it's from that magazine. Okay, so this is fall 2015. This is Jack's House by Ship's Manor. This is fall 2015 Halloween Cat by the Nebby Needle. I'm not sure if I'd stitch this one. I'm not sure. Some of these I'm not like in love with, but I thought I might want to stitch them someday. Some of them I really, really do like. This is from the 2016 fall issue. It's Barbara Anna Autumn Keeper Pen Keep, and I do really like this one. All of the back issues of this magazine are available on their website as a digital, not as a physical, but as a digital download if you're interested in any of these patterns. This is a Little House Needleworks, which is not typically featured in that magazine. This might have been the one and only time. This is the fall 2016 issue. It's Pumpkin Patch. It's really cute. This is Nikki's creation. Aw, my friend Nikki. This is Give Thanks Threadkeeper. It's from the fall issue 2016. That's really cute. I really like that border. This one is Lucky Halloween by Maha Matias. Oh, of the Snowflower Diaries. I've heard of the Snowflower Diaries. I didn't know that was her name. And this is the fall 2016. It says, when black cats prowl and pumpkins gleam, may luck be with you on Halloween. That is really cute. This is the 2016 fall issue. This is Manny Didonna Autumn Basket. This one is 2016 fall. This is Delaney Woods Treasures, Midnight Jack. I actually really like that. My tastes have changed. Like, some of these I just kept just in case, but I really didn't want to stitch, and now I'm like, I want to stitch that. This is Sweeping the Garden by Barbara Anna, also very cute. She designs a lot for Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Here's another Barbara Anna. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I said where that the last one is the 2017 fall issue. This is the 2018 fall issue, Barbara Anna Witch Ride. I love this one. I just need to do this one. I really love it. This one is a Primitive Hair. This is the fall 2015 issue. So I know that the Primitive Hair sells this pattern on her Etsy, but I think it costs a little bit more than what it would cost for you to just buy the fall 2015 issue and get all those other patterns too. So just, you know, pro tip. This is Boo Tree. Here's another Primitive Hair. This is the 2018 fall issue, and this is called Haunt On. I think this might be in her Etsy now too. I think maybe after a year she can release them. This one is the 2017 fall issue. It's May the Witches. And this one is a Sub Rosa design. I love Sub Rosa too. This is the 2017 fall issue. It's called Good Witch Sampler Pillow. Really cute. I think there's some other punch needles like that kind of got out of order mixed up in here, so there might be some more, but that was the bulk of them. I do have Hands on Design Sunflower Manor. Bought this a while ago and just haven't gotten around to it. Lindy Stitches Mr. and Mrs. Delicious. I really need to stitch this one. We all lost our minds over this pattern last year. So cute. This was a freebie by Fairy Wool in the Wood, which is another designer I really like. She's got a really cool prim look, and it's called Give Thanks. I have a couple other freebies, but they're just patterns, so I can't show them to you. This is a Primitive Hair. Was this a freebie? I think this was a freebie by the Primitive Hair called Give Thanks. This is an old pattern that really appeals to me. It's from a September 1989 issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch, and it's called Pumpkin Patch. And I think it's really cute. Whenever I see these magazines at the thrift store, which is often, and a lot of times they smell like cigarette smoke because, you know, in the 80s, everybody smoked in their house because that was just fine and normal, apparently. So a lot of times I'll pick them up and I'll be like, nope. But sometimes I'll just pick them up and thumb through them and I'm like, like, this stuff does not age well. This is very dated. So, like, for example, here's the, just on the back side of that pattern, you know, here's like kind of the typical stitching you find in that magazine. Like, it's cute, but it's a little dated. So whenever I actually find something I like in one of those magazines, it's pretty rare. And I used to sit at the thrift store and thumb through like every single page just in case there was something I needed. And then what I usually found out was that there wasn't, and I wasted like half an hour flipping through those magazines only to buy none of them. So now I don't do that. I might pick it up and flick through really quick, but I don't sit and like go through every issue. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is a Sampler Girl pattern called Thanksgiving 1789 Pocket. It's really cute. This is another find from my local crafty thrift store. They're called the Craft Box. This is a Praiseworthy Stitches Widow Blacks Bed and Breakfast, which is probably my favorite in this series. There's a series of different houses, and it is the pattern, and it includes the bead pack. The bead pack alone was $21.50. And then whatever the chart cost. Oh, the chart was $14. I got the chart with the bead pack for $12.99. And I think I had a 20% off that day. So I thought that was quite a deal. This is one that I really love, but I'm just not ready to start that big of a project right now. It calls for fancy floss. It does have the DMC conversions, but it's fancy floss and it's huge. It's 347 by 252 stitches. So it's humongous. And some of the fancy floss, it calls for 3 skeins. A lot of the fancy floss, it calls for 3 skeins. So that was on 32 count though, doing 2 strands. So if I did 40 count with 1 strand, I could probably get away with 2 skeins for some of those. So someday. This is a new purchase. This just came in the mail yesterday. It didn't even make it into my last Flosstube video. It's a Mani Dodonna Witch Mania. I'm just obsessed with those little witches. Look at them. Look at the H being witch boots and stockings. Isn't that cute? And I think it would like stitch really fast. It calls for, oh, I thought it would be DMC, but it's not. It's weeks. It's a bunch of weeks. So I might need to kit that up because like I said, this just came in the mail. I'm going to set that aside so I can remember to do that. Now these 3, I didn't have kitted up, but I want to start them sooner than later. So I think I will. I just need to dye some fabric because I want a certain look. And I don't think I can get that with anything I know of off the top of my head. So I think I'm going to have to do it myself. It's the Plum Street Salem Sisters. I have all 3. And I think I'm going to do them all 3 on the same fabric. Although they do have a different look and they call for different flosses. I think maybe for consistency, I'll do them all on the same fabric. This is a Willow Hill Samplings Etsy shop pattern. It's a PDF. It's called Bewitched Sampler. It's really cute. And this is from Just Cross Stitch Halloween 2016 Special Edition. It's Frony Ritter Designs Halloween Magic. And I want to talk about this because it's certainly pretty, right? That's really pretty. But, I mean, it's fine. It's pretty. But, like, I've seen 2 people now who stitched this, and just the pictures they've shown on Instagram, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, just stunning. So, I actually really wanted to start this. Like, I just kind of wanted to start it right away. But I don't have the right fabric for it, so, and I have so many other things to stitch, so I think I'm going to keep that one on the back burner for now. But that's definitely high on my list because, like I said, I've seen people who stitched it, and this picture does not do it justice. And this picture is really pretty, but it is even better. This is a Barbara Anna, The Branch, Come With Me All Hallows Night. I've just never, it calls for DMC. I've just never found the right linen for this one. I've actually tried to kit this up several times and I'm always like, Here's a couple of Primitive Needle and Punch Stitcher magazine patterns that got away from the others, and they're both primitive hair. This is from the no wait, I lied. This is 2016 fall issue. The Pickety Witch. I love this one. Is that the same? Is that exactly the same witch as her other one? Let's look. No. She has the Pickety Witch in this one. But she's different. This is the Pickety Witch. But then this is the Pickety Witch. She looks different. That one's really cool. I kind of want to do that now. Ugh. I got all these other ones to start. And then this one wasn't punch, needle, and primitive. This was just cross stitch Halloween 2016 issue. This is 31st of October, and I really, really like this one too. Wow. I really like that one. I want to stitch all the things and there's not enough time in the day. Lincoln wants to come say hi, but I have something in the way. So, here, I moved it. Oh, you just wanted to get to the window. Okay, you don't want to say hi to the people? Okay. I'll catch you on the way back. This is Plum Street Samplers, the Addams Family, and I love this one. And I thought about kitting it up, but look at the floss list. I wasn't in the mood. Honestly, some of these I picked just because they called for DMC, and I was like, I got that. That's cool. Sometimes with the fancy floss, it's just so much work, first to see if you have it, but even if you don't have it, to see what you would sub for it, or to decide if you want to buy it. It's just too much work, and I didn't feel like it. But I really do love this one. This is a Wild Violet cross stitch. You can get this from her website. It's she uses Gumroad is what the place is called. So it's Wild Violet cross stitch on Gumroad. And this is Stagecoach in the Woods, and she released this last year and I bought it then. It's really cool. You know what? DMC Ochoa. I'm right? Like DMC Ochoa, guys. Don't you think? Because it's a monochrome. I'm going to set this aside because I'm going to think on that one. Oh, I found another batch of punch needle and primitive stitcher patterns. We are definitely not done with those. This is the fall 2017 issue. It's by Lucy Beam. Thankful Pumpkins. Really cute. Really cute. This is Joyce Reed Folk Art, my homegirl. This is the 2018 fall issue. It's called Prim Turkey. That's really cute, but I can't do... It says, thank you, Lord, for everything. Amen. And I am not here for that. So maybe I could do something with the turkey. Yeah, I don't know. This is the 2017 fall issue. It's Acorn Sampler. This is by Nikki's Creations. Oh yeah, there's a bunch more. This is Manny Dodonna. This is the 2017 fall issue. This is Autumn Harvest Pincushion. That would stitch really fast. This one is by Sub Rosa. I love this one. It's Autumn Berries. It's the 2018 fall issue. Sorry guys, I realize we're like hitting an hour, and that's fine. Like, we can do this as long as we need to. But I'm going to try to go a little faster just to give you guys, like, you know, a little break. Just a little bit. You know, so you're not here with me, like, forever and ever. Amen. Right? This one is 2017 fall issue. This is Teresa's Primitive Treasures. It's called Jack. Did I block your way? I'm sorry. You want to come say hi? Nope, just passing through. Okay. Okay. Nope, just going to stand there now. Okay. He's right here. You guys just can't see him. This is a 2018 fall issue. This is C is for Crow by Rovaris cross stitch. I actually like this one a lot too. This one is 2018 fall issue. This is Kanicki's Salem's Finest Brew. I need to do this one. It's really cool. Okay, this is now we're gonna get into a lot of cross stitch patterns. So this is from the Halloween 2015. This is a Nikki's creation. It's called Witch Needle Book. So of course, you know, you get the pattern, but then she tells you how to make the needle book. This is 2015 Halloween issue of Just Cross Stitch, and the designer is in the back here, right? Somewhere. It's called Haunted Hillside Farm, and I'm trying to find the designer. It's Praiseworthy Stitches. I knew it. I was like, this looks like the same style as the Widow Bed and Black. Widow Black Bed and Breakfast. Sorry. Anyway, here you go. They don't design simple patterns over at Praiseworthy Stitches, do they? This is the 2015 Halloween issue. It's called Spooky Hollow Quilts. And I said I was going to try to move faster, and now I'm spending forever trying to find the designers. The designer is Gail Boosie. It's kind of a big one, but, you know, it's got quilts, which is kind of cool. This is the 2015 Halloween issue. This is Halloween Bouquet by Sharon Pope. Something about this one is, like, really calling me. I love that boot. I love the flowers. I love the realism. That one's, like, kind of calling to me. This is Simply Boo by Elizabeth's Needlework Designs, and it is from the 2015 Halloween issue. I think 2015 was a good issue. I have saved a lot from that one. This is also from that issue. This is by Manny Dodonna. It's the Halloween Days Sewing Basket. That's really cute. Really cute. And she tells you how to make the basket. This is also from 2015. This is Dia de los Muertos Duo by Brianne Jackson. I love me some sugar skulls. Same issue to no, we're moving up a year. This is 2016 Halloween issue. Praiseworthy Stitches Halloween Biscornu. That's cute. Like I said, I just saved the ones I think I might stitch. This is the 2016 Halloween. It's by Teresa Mergida, and it's called It's Midnight. And it looks like that. That's pretty cute. This is 2016 Halloween, also by Teresa Mergida, and it's called Ritual and Spells, and I really like that one too. Um, 2016 Halloween issue. This is Stitchy Fish Designs. So she designed that cool skeleton key I showed at the beginning of the video. And here's another one. This might be the same key actually. It's called The Key. I think this is the same key. I think this key is the one I'm gonna stitch. But this one has all this added stuff. That's actually really cool. I'm going to have to do that in DMC Etoile. This is 2016 Halloween issue. This is Nikki's Creations, and it's Halloween Harvest Pincushion Pear. Those are cute. I really love Nikki's designs. They're just perfect. Perfectly prim, but still cute. And she almost always uses DMC. Almost always. Or maybe always. This is from the 2016 issue. It's called Witch's Library. It's by Lisa Leanne Designs. And I suspect that this picture does not do justice to this design. It's a bookmark. It's a witch reading all these books. I just think the picture doesn't quite capture. I think it'll be really cute stitched up. And I want to say I did see someone had stitched this, and it really was cute. I just don't think that maybe the magazine got the best picture of that one. This is 2016 Halloween. This is Trick or Treat Pals from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It's so cute. This is the 2016 Halloween issue. This is a Hands-On Design and Priscilla collaboration. This is Seasons and Chalk Art Halloween. So if any, that's the original chalk art, and there's the stitched, right? Or did I do that backwards? Nope, I did that backwards. There's the stitched. There's the original art. If anyone's looking for that one, it's 2016 Halloween issue, Just Cross Stitch Magazine. This is the 2019 Halloween issue. This is called The Friendly Ghosts. Is this Praiseworthy Stitches? No. Wait. Where did I get Friendly Ghost? I'm sorry. Ignore me. This is called Tunnel of Trees by Elizabeth Spurlock. It's really cool. So this was this year's issue. So I think these are all from this year's issue. This is Dark and Stormy Bookmark by Kathleen Burlew. It's really cool. This one is, I really like this one. It's by Rovaris. I really do like her style. And it's called Rustic Halloween. So again, Halloween 2019 issue. And it says, I was born with Halloween in my heart. If that ain't the truth. This one is a Primitive Acorns pattern, and it's again from the 2019 issue, and it's called Halloween Hen, and it's very cute. This one is also 2019 issue. It's Pickle Barrel Designs. It's called Boutique. Boutique. That's cute. This is from the 2019. It's Faithworks Designs To Market to Market. Kind of obsessed with that bird. This is a Panochka. Not really quite my style, but I kind of am obsessed with the colors she picked. It's called Spiderweb Mandala. I might stitch it. It'll be stitched so fast. This is Midnight Seance by Pickle Barrel Designs, 2019. Just cross stitch. I'm trying not to show you the chart. Ooh, this one's cute. 2019. This is Praiseworthy Stitches, Spooky Booze, Halloween Drum. Okay. Look at that. And then this is what the top looks like. That's pretty cute. So the 2019 issue wasn't bad, you guys. I know there's been some misses. But this was a good issue. I'm not even done yet. Like, I still have more I pulled from that issue, and I've actually kitted up a few from that issue already. This is Witch's Brew by Kathleen Burlew. That one was cool. This one is Witchy Way by Pickle Barrel Designs. That's cute. And these would stitch up so fast, some of these. This one is Halloween, no, it's called House with Goats by Natalia Luniva. She's one of those Russian Etsy designers I've bought from. I can't think of what her shop name is. I don't know that I'd make that whole house. Like, she tells you how to make that whole house, and that's a little too much. But I might steal the motifs and make like ornaments or something. This one is Nikki's Creations. This is Halloween Bookmark. And unfortunately, I don't think they got a really great picture of this one. So it's kind of, and I don't think it's Nikki. I think, my understanding when you design for Just Cross Stitch is that they have someone else do your model stitching. I don't think they let you do it. And then they photograph it. So, I just like the sheep kind of blend in. So I kind of want to stitch this just so I can see that I'm sure it's actually way cuter than what it looks. This is Home Sweet Haunted Home. I love this one. It's by Fairy Wool in the Wood. It's so cute. That's been very popular. A lot of people have stitched that one. And then this one is really actually would stitch up so fast. It's by Stitchy Fish Designs. It's called Nevermore. I could just crank that out in like a couple hours. There's actually very little cross stitch and it's mostly just some back stitching. So that would be really fast. Okay, back to some Primitive Needle and Punch Stitch magazine, but this is the most current issue. So this is the 2019 fall issue. This is Teresa's Primitive Treasures, Pumpkins, Birds, and Tulip. We are kind of rounding like towards the bottom of the, I mean, there's still quite a few, but we're getting there, guys. If you're starting to go like, okay, now we're getting there. This is Lucy Beam Jack O Pin Cushion. This is Twin Peak Primitives Tradition from Ancestors. So it's a Thanksgiving pattern. That's quite a big pattern for that magazine. Usually they do a little bit smaller. This is the Barbara Anna, which, like I said, she's in most of the issues, if not all of the issues, which is fine by me because I love Barbara Anna. This is Autumn Bounty. That is cute. I like that a lot. I just need to crank all those out. Here's the Primitive Hair one. It's Enter If You Dare. That wouldn't take very long to stitch. This is Lindy Stitch's contribution to the fall issue. This is No Good for Man Nor Beast. It's not really like explicitly fall, but it was in the issue. So I'm just, I'm lumping it in. This is Kanicki's Eye of Newt. That's cute. I like that. Oh, back to the 2019 Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue. This is by Olesya Novozilova. It's a Halloween butterfly, and I actually love this. It says butterfly, but that's a moth. That's a moth, girl. I'm just looking through some of these, deciding if I'm going to show them all. Some of them are like just little freebies I found that it might be hard for you guys to find, so I'm not sure I want to show them, but you should be able to find this one. This is a freebie from the Snowflower Diaries called Autumn is Here, and it's really cute. She also had this freebie called Pumpkins for Kathy. Also very cute. This is 2015 Halloween Just Cross Stitch issue. It's called Spells by Teresa Mergida. And this one is from, also from that issue, I think. This is Needle Bling Designs. It's called Boo. 2015 Halloween issue. That's cute. 2015 Halloween issue. This is Julia Punti Antici, Barbara, My Witch Friend. And there's just a tiny little picture here. So I'm going to come in so I don't show you the pattern. That's cute. This is a freebie. This is Alice Young 1647. It's a freebie from a Facebook group, and it's by Dixie Sampler, designer Terry Hall. And it's really cute. Prim. I love that. This is from 2015 Halloween, just cross stitch. I guess we're not done with that one yet. This is Sampler's Not Forgotten, Crow on a Pumpkin. That is awesome. This one is Nikki's Creations. This is from this year's 2019 Halloween issue. This is called Sheepish Pincushion. I need to do this one. I really like this one. Cute. Okay, we are really, truly almost done. I have 4 left, and then I'm out of here. This is it under Mirabilia or Nora Corbett? This is under Nora Corbett. It's a Halloween fairy. I love this one, and every time I see someone stitching it, I'm like, I need to do that. But I cannot find the right fabric. I haven't found the right fabric yet. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Mysterious Halloween Town. I like this one. It was a Sal, but I was late to that party. Okay, we're almost done. Not Forgotten Farm Samplers, Counting Crows. And like I said, I didn't put these in any particular order, but the last pattern I have to show you is Plum Street Samplers, Betsy's Autumn. She's a big girl. Plum Street calls for a lot of floss. She always calls for a lot of like weeks. So I actually have a lot of Plum Street patterns, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy all the floss. So anyway, okay, so that is all I have to show you. I hope you guys have enjoyed this incredibly long video, especially if you were to combine parts 1 and 2, we'd be at 2 hours and 18 minutes. So maybe it's a good thing we split those up. Anyway, I hope you got some inspiration. If you have questions about any of the patterns, like, let me know. If you really want to see me stitch something, let me know. And I will certainly take it into consideration. For now, I think I'm going to run over to Michael's and buy some more DMC Etoile so I can stitch everything in DMC Etoile, because it is my obsession, as I've said. So that's all I have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!